Fluffy's School Bus Adventure. Written by Kate McMullen, illustrated by Mavis Smith, narrated by Kobe Perez. It was Friday afternoon. "Goodbye," Mrs. Day called to her students. Miss Day was about to go home too, but then she saw Fluffy. "Fluffy," said Mrs. Day, "why are you still here?" "Jasmine was supposed to take you home," Mrs. Day said. "I guess she forgot." "Forgot," thought Fluffy. "How could anybody forget me?" "Maybe I can catch her," said Mrs. Day. She picked up Fluffy's cage and ran outside. She hurried over to a school bus. "Does Jasmine ride this bus?" she asked the driver. The driver nodded. Mrs. Day held up the cage. "She forgot something. That would be me," thought Fluffy. The driver took Fluffy's cage. She put it on an empty seat. "I will surprise Jasmine when she gets off the bus," she said. She started the bus and drove off. A girl sat next to Fluffy. She took him out of his cage. "Have a lollipop, little pig," she said. "A what a pop?" thought Fluffy. He licked it. The thing tasted yummy, but it made his fur green and sticky. "This is my stop," the girl said. She gave Fluffy to the boys behind her. "Bye, little pig." The boys were playing with purple goo. "Have some goo, little pig," they said. They showed Fluffy how to squish the goo through his paws. It turned his paws purple. "Oh," thought Fluffy, "the goo felt like cold jelly." The boys put the goo back into a jar. They gave Fluffy to the girl behind them. "Bye, little pig," they said. Fluffy and the girl were the last ones on the bus. The girl put her sunglasses on Fluffy. She put glitter on him. "You look like a rock star," she said. "That's me," thought Fluffy. The girl held Fluffy up to the window. Some kids in another bus saw him. They waved. Rockstar Fluffy waved to his fans. The bus stopped again. The girl took the sunglasses off Fluffy. She carried him to the front of the school bus and gave him to the driver. "Wait," said the driver. "Mrs. Day asked me to give the pig to you, Jasmine." "I'm not in Mrs. Day's class," said the girl. "That's Jasmine P. I'm Jasmine M." And she got off the bus. Fluffy looked at the bus driver. The bus driver looked at Fluffy. "Uh-oh," they both thought. "There has been a big mistake." "I know where Jasmine P lives," the bus driver told Fluffy. "I will take you to her house." She put Fluffy into her pocket. She drove off. "Make way for the bus," thought Fluffy. The driver stopped at a red light. All of a sudden, the bus went ka-clunk. The engine stopped. "Uh-oh," thought Fluffy and the driver. The bus driver called a tow truck. The tow truck driver put a big hook on the bumper of the school bus. The tow truck picked up the front end of the bus. "Now that is strong," thought Fluffy. The bus driver and Fluffy got into the tow truck. "Make way for the tow truck," thought Fluffy. They stopped at a garage. "What is the problem?" asked the mechanic. "The engine went ka-clunk and stopped," said the bus driver. The mechanic opened the hood. He bent over the engine. He opened caps. He poked around. He tried to start the bus. Nothing happened. "Are you sure it went ka-clunk?" he asked. "Or did it go clank? Or maybe clink?" "It went ka-clunk," said the bus driver. She bent way over the engine. Fluffy fell out of her pocket. "Yowie!" he cried. Fluffy grabbed a rod. It was oily. He could not hold on. He grabbed a cable. It was greasy. His paws slipped off. He grabbed something that looked like a rope. "Got it," thought Fluffy. Fluffy held on to that rope. He pulled himself up, up, up. At last he poked his head out of the greasy engine. Here I am, thought Fluffy. The little pig found a broken belt, said the mechanic. Now I can fix this bus. The bus driver picked up Fluffy. Nice going, little pig, she said. It was dirty work, thought Fluffy, but somebody had to do it. The mechanic put in a new fan belt. By the time he finished, it was supper time. Let's order a pizza, he said. Good idea, said the tow truck driver. Yes, said the school bus driver. Let's have a pizza party for the pig. All right, thought Fluffy. Party time. The tow truck driver phoned for the pizza. The mechanic turned on his radio. Shimmy to the left now, baby. Boogie to the right. Turn around, jump up and down, dance all night. Can you dance, little pig? The school bus driver asked Fluffy. Who? Me? Thought Rockstar Fluffy. He danced up a storm. The pizza is here, called the tow truck driver. Everyone hurried over to the table. The pizza was topped with red and green peppers. Oh boy, thought Fluffy. He jumped on his slice and dug in. Time to go, little pig, said the school bus driver. Fluffy waved goodbye to the tow truck driver and the mechanic. Then the bus driver put Fluffy back into her pocket. She got into the school bus. It started right up. On the ride to Jasmine's house, Fluffy thought about his lollipop. He thought about the purple goo and about being a rock star. He remembered riding in the tow truck and how he helped fix the school bus. He licked some pizza sauce off his back leg. What a day, thought Fluffy. It doesn't get any better than this. The bus driver rang Jasmine's bell. Fluffy, Jasmine cried. When she opened the door, you poor pig! Oh, he's all right, said the school bus driver. She winked at Fluffy. Goodbye, little pig. Jasmine took Fluffy inside. I'm sorry I forgot you, she said. I will give you a warm bath. I will feed you carrots and apples. I will tuck you into my doll bed and rock you all night long. She hugged Fluffy. Poor lost pig, she said. It must have been awful. Yeah, thought Fluffy as he snuggled under a warm blanket. Just awful. Charming and funny. Those are just two words that describe the quirky and happy adventures of Fluffy the silly little guinea pig. This book excited me as a child because it reminded me about how fun school could be. As a child, this book made me happy every time I read it. I still remember the goofiness of Fluffy and how captivating he was. When I was depressed and read this book, it made me smile. This book would be acknowledged as the genre of fiction because it tells you the thoughts of a guinea pig and shows you the guinea pig doing things average guinea pigs wouldn't do. The genre connected with me because if this book wasn't fiction, it wouldn't be as stimulating as it is. The genre helped the plot of the story because if this story wasn't fiction, the guinea pig wouldn't be able to do all the things it accomplishes in the story. Today, this book still makes me cheerful and reminds me of my youth. I hang on to it so I can reread it and show it to other people in the future how good this book was. This book conjures up memories of pre-K and kindergarten and how animated I was about school back then. This book transformed me because it made me more happy to go to school. This book connects with me because it shows how fun pets can be and how life will not always be perfect like the bus in the story. The lessons I learned in this book will be with me always, and that is why it is my favorite book.